All right, guys, our next guest, he is a current UFC middleweight and former middleweight title challenger. He's beaten guys like Dean Lister, Jesse Taylor, Jeremy Horn, Ed Herman, and most recently brutally knocked out Francis Carmont. He's none other than Thales Leites. Thales, welcome to Submission Radio. How are you?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's a great pleasure to be here and talk with you guys.
Well, the pleasure is all ours. Now, something you may not know about Australia, Thales, we are in the future in terms of our time zone, and here in Australia, it is the 6th of September. So you know what that means, Thales. We're going to play a little bit of something.
Yeah, it is. It is my birthday. It's September 6th. In Brazil, it's not yet, but it's September 6th in Australia. It's my birthday already.
I don't know if you can hear it. We're trying to play some birthday music for you. But yeah, happy birthday, Thales. Tell us how you feel. Another year older, another year wiser. What are the plans? Are you going out to party?
No, I will spend my day with my daughter. I just want to relax and go with her and ride a skateboard and bicycle at the beach, just relaxing. I don't wanna do any party.
Great. Now, Taylor's back to the fighting. A couple of weekends ago, you had a spectacular win over Francis Carmont. How are you feeling, and what have you been up to since this amazing win?
I felt great. I knew that the Carmont. He's a great challenger, and I saw all his fights. We studied a lot, and the game plan was perfect because I've been training my stand-up game for a long time, but I was needing to be more confident. And all my trainers, my boxing, my Muay Thai coach, and everyone, and even my head coach, they said every time, Thales, you have heavy hands. You just have to believe. As soon as you go to the fight, when you hit the guy, if he feel, just keep going. Don't try to take him down as you use it to do. And we start to work on it every time, and it happened in my last fight, and couple fights ago and in my last fight, and that's it. The game plan was every time close the distance, don't let him come forward. I have to go forward and make him walk backward, and it's exactly what I did at the beginning of the second round. I got the distance and I said, man, I have to close the distance and put my hand on his face in right now, and it's exactly what happened.
Wow. So going into that fight, talk us through it, because obviously you're more than capable on the ground, but now we're seeing, this striking evolution. Were you planning to knock Francis out, or is it just something that happened because you saw the opportunity?
No. The plan was it. And actually the plan every time, it's try to finish the fight before the judge, before the judges score. And of course, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I will always represent jiu-jitsu with the pleasure. But MMA, the fight start on stand, and when you get more confidence on stand, it's better because you can control the fight better, on stand. And if the fight goes to the ground, you are more comfortable. Sometimes you hit the guy and he try to take you down, and and then you take him down. It's better to control the fight. But the game plan, exactly was it. Finish the fight. Doesn't matter how. Or knockout or submission. And came to the knockout.
Absolutely, and it was very spectacular, like we mentioned. Now, just on another side note, did you suffer any injuries during the fight? And when are you looking to get back in the octagon for another one?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand exactly what you say.
That's okay. Did you suffer any injuries during the fight?
No, absolutely not. Some people ask me the same thing because he did a couple kicks, and I lost my balance and I put my hand on the ground, and they said that it happened something in your knees. My friends and my coach, they asked me. I said no, it was just when he kicked at me, I had to put the top of my knee a little bit more to the left side, and he hit my foot, and I lost the balance. Just it, not at all.
Good to hear. Now, in terms of Francis Carmont, Francis' last few opponents have been very tough guys in CB Dollaway, Costa Philippou, and Jacare Souza. Yet you have been the only one to finish him in the UFC. What does that say about you in terms of the middleweight division?
It means a lot to me, of course. Now I think I'm the number 12 And
Mhm.
it's very good to me because he lost before me. He lost just for two guys and two top 10 guys, Dollaway and Jacaré, who is fighting today. And I won him. I beat him by knockout. I think he wasn't nobody knocking him out since 2010 or something like that.
Mm.
Someone told me before after. In UFC, nobody knocking until that time had knocking him out, and it is good to me, of course, and it brings me more confidence for sure, and put me in 12 in the ranking. The ranking is very tough. I know
Mm.
to get a top 10 is very tough, and all the guys in the top 10 and top 15 is well deserved for sure.
Absolutely. The rankings are very tough in the middleweight division, like you
Yeah.
mentioned. And, you mentioned that you possibly like to fight Michael Bisping next. That was the big news coming out this week. Now, a lot of guys are calling out Michael these days. What's your personal reason for wanting to fight Michael next? And what is it about him that lures you to that fight?
Oh, actually, there's nothing, personal between me and he. It's just because Bisping, he's a good guy. He's an excellent fighter. He has a good name, and he's been fighting since when I was in UFC in 2006. He was there like me, and I think it will be a great fight. I was wondering if we put the UFC put this fight in or in England or in Brazil. Doesn't matter. Will be nice to me. And other thing is Bisping. He doesn't matter how what happened during the fight, but he fight until the end every time. He do
Mm.
great fights, and I think it will be a great fight between me and him.
With Michael Bisping, he often talks a lot of trash. There's a lot of back and forth between him and his opponents. Seems like you've got a lot of respect for the guy. And I think in that sense, Bisping may not engage in any trash talk. It seems like this might be one of the most respectful sort of exchanges between Michael Bisping and opponent. Don't you think?
Oh, really? To me, it actually doesn't matter what my opponent will say. What matters to me is inside the cage. Some opponent, I already heard some opponents telling that they will kill me, or that blah 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 and blah blah blah. This doesn't matter to me. What is important is when close the cage and the referee say go. That
Mm.
is the truth. So I don't like to do the trash talk, but sometimes it is good to promote the fight. But it doesn't matter. Actually, to me, it's just I just put in the trash. All this trash talk, I just throw to the trash, and and be focused on my training.
I
Mm.
like it. I like it. Has a good ring to it. Now, Talis, I want to go back in time. I want to go back in time to your last fight against Anderson Silva. It was a long, long time ago now, and we saw a
Yeah.
completely different Thales Leites in the ring. I'm just wondering, in hindsight, when you get an opportunity to look back at that fight, what goes through your head? And is it hard for you to recognize the Thales Leites that's become now to the Thales Leites that was back then?
Yeah, definitely is a different Thales. And at that time, I came from five straight victor. I was prepared physically, but mentally, I wasn't. I wasn't thinking like a champion. I trained a lot, but I wasn't training and thinking as a champion. And I'm very, upset when when I remember what happened during the fight because I was the challenger, and the challenge have to show to the public and to the world, especially to your opponent, why you deserve to be there. How you want the belt. And at the first round, I had my game plan. Of course, at the moment was closer distance, take him down. But as I tried the first and the second round, and when I took him to the ground, and and he back to his stand-up game, I was trying close the distance. And I didn't. I couldn't anymore. I was kind of frustrated. It happens a lot with a lot of his opponents because he break the guy even on inside the cage, but especially that had his opponent mine, and it happens with me. And I was after the fight, I said, "Fuck, man, I'm upset because I'm the challenge. I had nothing to lose. I have to go forward every time. Doesn't matter if he knock me out, if he submit me, doesn't matter. But I had to be there to fight. you know, and this is how makes me more upset about that fight, you know. But of course, I work at a lot. My confidence is to me, be confident and believe in yourself is the like a 50%, and the rest is your cardio, your physical, and your technique. But mentally, get well prepared mentally is the 50% in my opinion. So I'm doing I'm start to do it a long time. Is a mental coach with my a friend of mine who lives in Arizona. Is Gustavo Dantas. He has a program. Is a BJJ mental coach. Before was just for the jiu-jitsu guys, and he started to work with me. And if you saw my fight short, there's BJJ mental coach. There's we are working together. Wow. It is good. It makes me well better.
Awesome. It's good to see, when fighters and professional athletes take these extra measures, to really get in there and solidify their mental game. Just quickly, before we move on from your first run in the UFC, I wanted to chat to you because, not long after the Silva loss, you were cut from the company. It was a while ago, UFC 101. We're coming up to UFC 178 now.
Yeah.
Tell us what went through your head after that. And, were you worried? Did you believe that you would make it back into the company?
After the UFC 101, I had, they cut me out, and I had, both injuries in both. I had to surgery in left knee and right knee, 2011, 2012. Of course, when the UFC, cut me out, I said, "Fuck, man, what I gonna do now?" I was fighting the biggest show in the world, but I had to put my my brain and stop, think about it. And I said, I will continue to do what I love to do. And I started to fight a show in Canada, and then in Brazil, and then I fought in Sweden. And it happens a lot of things in my life, but it makes me stronger. It's funny because it makes me stronger and gave me more, wish to get back. And I put in my mind, one day I will get back to the UFC. And I said to myself, you just have to keep working, keeping more confidence, and, still fighting. And one time you will get the chance. And it comes in Brazil. Was a perfect time. I'd get back to the UFC in Brazil at the same card as my friend Jose Aldo in Rio de Janeiro, where I live. So it was perfect with a victory. And then now, since I returned to the UFC, I'm four wins straight. It's perfect to me.
Absolutely. It's almost like, it's such a great story, and it's really great to see Thales. Just finally on Anderson Silva, he's coming back to the UFC to face Nick Diaz. I'm just wondering, obviously you've set a whole lot of goals for yourself. Is rematching Anderson Silva up the road, is that still a goal of yours, to really see how you'd go against him now that your mental game is strong and you've got a completely different skill set?
Look, Anderson is not a ghost to me. I was upset with myself, not with him. With my things that I did inside the cage, not with him. He did his job. And if he it's not a wish, like a goal to my life that I have to fight with him again. It doesn't matter to me. But if I have to fight with him again, of course, would be well done, and I want to fight for sure. If I have the opportunity to fight with him again, of course that I want. Of course, he's a great guy. He's one of the biggest in MMA, and of course that I want to rematch with him. And definitely, he's not a ghost. He's a man like everyone else. He has 2 arms, 2 legs, one brain. He has two skills, but he has his weakness like everyone. The problem that was with me. I was upset with me. And I'm way better.
Well, let's talk about some of those things and, the reasons that you got better. Obviously, you mentioned, your striking was a lot of it due to confidence and really going for the finish as opposed to relying on your jiu-jitsu. Who specifically have you been working with for your striking, and, what specifically have you been doing in terms of like your boxing and striking training?
Yeah, like I told you, actually, I've been training for a long time. I always train. I start training Muay Thai with Marcelo Aguiar,
Hmm.
and a great guy. He fought in UFC already. He's from Muay Thai. He fought with Matt Hughes a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then he's Pedro Rizzo's friend, and then I became Pedro Rizzo's friend, and then we start training together. And now Pedro, we are working for for this my last fight. I did just private class with him just to working exactly the game to fight with Carmont. And I've been working too with the Alex Cardoso, the box guy from Brazil. Very nice guy, very competent, and he is very patient because private class every time, me and one more or two more guys, every time doing the basic, the basically that is the most important, and working the confidence together with it. I mix it all and working together. Of course, I don't forget the wrestling and especially the jiu-jitsu every time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as your skills have evolved, I'm just wondering, just from a fan's perspective, what do you find more rewarding now, getting the knockout or winning by submission?
Actually, the sensation of, to be honest, the sensation of the submission is better than the knockout. But victory is what matter. So you are asking me what I prefer to do to what I prefer, if it is the submission or if
Yeah,
the
yeah.
knockout.
Well, what kind of feels better for you?
Yeah, exactly. It's weird. It's hard to say, but I think that the submission to me is better. I feel more, I don't know, more happy. It's weird to say, but I feel more happy, more, more light. But the knockout, it's great too. Actually, the victory, is amazing. But knockout is pretty good for sure.
I think with knockouts, it's a bit crazy because jiu-jitsu often takes a lot longer to set up the submission. Knockouts just out of nowhere, and the crowd, it erupts a lot quicker. But we wanted to get your thoughts, Talis, because a lot of guys who started grappling end up falling in love with the knockout and often neglect their grappling skills. You could say that about, say, Rampage or a Fedor or of a Diego Sanchez, possibly.
Yeah.
People have described that knockout as addictive. After your last two knockouts, do you feel that like it's addictive at all? Do you think like one day we'll see the knockout machine, Thales Leites?
I hope so. I hope so. Will be great, but I don't know. I hope so, but of course, the knockout, is amazing. But I don't know if I will become a knockout. Uh, what the word did you use? The
Machine.
knockout, the knockout machine. I don't know. Will be great, but could be good. The knockout machine and submission machine will be great. Perfect, 100%. Huh?
We'll tell Bruce Buffer for the next fight.
Will
Now,
be great.
now, Taylor, one of your teammates, Henan Barrow, he had a bit of a difficult time last weekend. He was unable to make weight and compete. I'm just wondering, have you seen Henan since he returned to Brazil, and how's he doing spirit-wise? Obviously, it was a very difficult weekend for him.
Yeah, was hard for everybody, for Nova União. Actually, after my fight, I went to San Diego. I was traveling, going to the Sacramento, and during the week, and I was almost there. I was a couple of hours away, and I called to my coach to ask how was the Baron's weight, and he told me, man, you won't believe it. He was cutting weight, and he felt, he didn't feel good. And I don't know how the word in English, but when you like
Faint?
sleep, huh?
Oh yeah,
It's not.
when you slip.
Yeah, when you sleep, he was cutting weight in his kind of sleep, and they was of course afraid, and they was worried about it. And they called to the doctors, and they brought him to the hospital to see what was going on, and no way to fight. I don't know exactly what happened, but it's bad for us for sure. Not only for us, but for the sport. He was doing the main event, the rematch, but now we will have to wait a little bit, and I think they will give Tubarão 1 or 2 more fights, and then he will get the title shot again. But when things happen this way, is because it wasn't have to happen. You know what I mean? If it didn't happen, it's because doesn't have to happen. I think like this.
Everything happens for a reason. That's what my dad used to say.
Exactly.
Doesn't say it anymore, but I was gonna say, just to squash the rumors, a lot of fans have been saying, does this mean Hannon Brow's going to move up a weight class? From what you know, is he still going to stay in the same weight class, even though he had the issue with the weight cut?
Yeah, actually, this thing I don't know, because in the other weight class there's a Jose Aldo, and we don't know what the dad is our head coach, and I don't know what they will do, but I think Baron will keep in this weight division for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right, Thales, we're going to do something a little bit fun with you. It's called the Submission Radio Tap Out Round. It's kind of like word association, where we throw a bunch of quick, fun questions at you, and you answer as quick as possible. Are you ready?
Okay, let's do it.
All right, what's your favorite Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu submission?
Arm triangle choke.
Oh, that's the Brock Lesnar one. That's my favorite. Will we ever see you compete in Metamoris one day? And who would you want to challenge in a friendly competition?
Oh, will be great opportunity to fight Metamoris one day, but I don't know who could be. Someone from UFC, and one day it will be great. I don't know. I have no name in my mind now.
Well, the Gracies know now that you're interested, at least. What is something about Thales Leites that we don't know?
I'm a cool guy. I think so.
We already knew that. What else is there, Thales?
I don't know. I'm a regular guy. I'm a normal guy who likes to be with my family, to enjoy the nature, to see the nature, climb mountains, stay on the beach, and these things, simple things in life.
Nice.
Very, very nice. Now we're gonna do a prediction round with you, Thales. You tell us who you think wins in the following fights. You ready?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Who wins between Anderson Silva and Nick Diaz?
I think will be I have to give my prediction or the opinion. The prediction definitely, or my opinion at all.
You know what? We'll go with the opinion, because we want to know why you what the reason is.
I think Anderson by decision.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay. Who wins between Vitor Belfort and the Chris Weidman?
It's a tough question too. I think if past the second round, Chris Weidman, but first or second round, I'm more Vitor.
Your teammate Jose Aldo, how's he beating Chad Mendes?
For sure, knock him out for the first or the second round.
Oh. If you could, how soon would you want to return to the octagon and fight again? We know you fought
December,
a lot recently. Yeah?
Yeah, December or next year, January, February.
Wow.
Now, Thales, you received your first $50,000 performance of the night bonus. So we're just wondering, what kind of fancy things will you be spending your bonus money on?
Save the money to my daughter's education.
Smart man. Last of all, when is Thales Leites coming to Australia to teach some Aussies how to roll in some jiu-jitsu?
I wish one day I was planning last year goes to Australia. I don't know if I can go, if I will go to the Australia this year, but next year I want to go. Of course, I wanna meet this gorgeous place. Australia is a beautiful country, big country, and it has a lot of good things that I like. It's the simple things that enjoy the nature, see the beaches, climb the mountains, and all these things that I like to do. Is there's the nature is in Australia is well life.
Absolutely. Guys, you can catch Thales on Twitter. Make sure you follow him at Thales Leites, and also make sure that you look out for Thales next year if he does make it down to Australia. Otherwise, Thales, we'll be keeping on your career and making sure we get you back on the show when your next fight is announced. Otherwise, happy birthday for tomorrow. Thank you for coming on Submission Radio, and it has been such a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate your time. Thanks for the opportunity to let me talk about my life, my career. And sorry about my English, but thank you, guys.